Okay, today I'm just going to give you an update on my projects at this point. Well, the first thing I'm up against is still the temperature around here because it's still in the lower and mid 90s, so I still can only work about 4 to 6 hours a day, so I'm getting not quite as much done as I want to. But in this case, I'm building the tutorial series still for the all the tutorials and models that I'll have on my website, and this is my Time Warrior machine that I'm building. And this will be one of the tutorials as well. And I'll show you a few things on building. Like for instance, before we get started, I'll just show you how I might build out some rails because I'm going to need some rails on here. So I would say select the base on this one here like this, and then I have these beveled edges like this, but maybe I'll just come grab like these edges like this that I want my rail to be. I want it to follow these contours like that, and maybe I'll just do that, but that kind of gives you an idea. And then I would do Shift D and just left click and copy it into place, and then I'll press so it's a separate object. And then let's see what it will be as soon as I press P and separate it by a selection. Alright, now when I leave edit mode, I can go grab that piece separately. Notice it's called plane.002 here, and I can lift it up, and then I go over to object and convert that over into curve. Then come over to the curve tool, put that in full mode, make sure you're in 3D, and I'll change the resolution. No, I don't want the resolution yet. I'll just change the depth like that, and then I'll come back over here in object and convert it back to a mesh. Right, so then basically I'll be able to build out the rails how I want, and it'll be able to follow the contours of my machine because I'm going to have rails on here. But I don't work on the design of the machine until the very end. What I work on is all the mechanics, and that's what takes all the time in this kind of work. And the design of the model in the end is like a day's worth of work for me, and that's about it, or less. But everything else, like for instance, this is so what you'll be able to do is, and this one will be cruising forward. Well, the tutorial is going to be based on going forward and back through time and running into different events that might occur, and in all cases there's going to have to be fighting going on because, well, time can be dangerous. So but what I've been working on is not only the clocks, which are going to be standalone 3D models like I've mentioned in the other tutorials. An analog clock is really simple, but I'm designing these clocks and dials and watches and gauges, and the purpose is because they're really usable models in all kinds of other applications. And like for instance, in the case of this particular digital clock, if we look at it close, you can see it's just dials I have in the back. But the animation to run through the dials to set the dates and the time in the calendar is much trickier than it looks like at the outset. And it's all done in Python. In fact, virtually everything in this thing is done in Python, except moving the missiles, but that's just a couple logic bricks that I'll replace with Python code anyway. So, well, I'll give you an idea when I run this, and some of the other things, of course, you have to get your sound in sync and everything. So let me run this thing here and just kind of give you an idea of a few things in here. I have several missiles, and you can see, oh, well, that clock, the chair I was rotating just for fun. But you can see so what's going on is I have up to 4 missiles in here. If you listen closely, you'll hear 4 distinct sounds for each missile. Right. Oh, and the purpose is, yeah, they take out these buildings if you want. Basically, I'm just testing, and then when the time comes around, it kicks off again. Like for instance, if I just hold down one key right now, it'll fire, but that's based on a keyboard press. But what you were watching a moment ago was based on time. You can see when I hold down this other key, I'm basically moving time because I want things to occur based on virtual time. So games have been doing this for years and years, but in this case I'm just adding analog and digital clocks to it as well. So say for instance, if I put these clocks inside of maybe inside the storm chasing game, well, I need a clock so at maybe certain times of the day they launch weather balloons, so you'll be able to track the times that things occur. So time-based stuff is really important, but I have all the mechanics of that in place, and my synchronized sound is in place, so all the mechanics are done behind the scene now. And so now I'll be able to move forward a little bit quicker as soon as the heat relents here around here. So I just wanted to kind of give you an update what I'm doing, because I assure you I'm working on my projects in earnest, and I'm just waiting for the heat to let up a little. Alright, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video.